Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in once again. We've made it to country number 3. We're just outside of Auckland, New Zealand, in a small town called Rotorua. We're going to talk about New Zealand in the next video, but for this video, we're going to talk about our adventure in Tonga. Tonga was really a destination for us for one reason and one reason only. It was to dive with humpback whales, and it was an experience like we've never had before. Couldn't recommend it more to anyone else, but this was completely Kirsten's idea, so I'm going to let her kind of run with it.
Yeah, so of course there's like whale watching and all that stuff you can do in Hawaii and Alaska, and we've always known about that, but it wasn't until, I don't know, probably a couple years ago that I saw other like vloggers and travelers posting videos and pictures of actually being able to swim in the water with these whales. And like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm definitely gonna do that one day. Like I don't care what I have to do, like I'm gonna do it. And so we added that to our list of places to go to Tonga specifically to swim with the whales, and it was like nothing we've ever done in our entire lives. It was such a life-changing, like eye-opening experience, and like the one thing like I was just like, oh my gosh, like never in my life have I felt like so like small and like irrelevant because these creatures are so massive. Like you literally feel like you're in the water with a giant airplane creature. Like you're just like, wow, like I have never felt like this, like anything like that in my entire life. So pretty safe to say that like Tonga has definitely like holds like a special place for us now, and we will definitely be returning to do that again.
Yeah, and whale diving wasn't the only thing that we were able to do in Tonga. Of course, that was like the main objective of going there, but we on the last full day that we had there, we literally just got in our rental car and just drove around the island and just followed these brown signs that were everywhere. They're basically for tourists saying, hey, the blowholes are this way, the caves are that way. It just directed you all around the island to all the different sites.
Yeah. So apparently out here in Tonga there's just random roads that we think we can drive down and with our off-road Toyota, and they say there's beaches down here, but we're not sure, so I guess we'll find out on our little walk. So we'll find out if there's a beach at the end of this road, which we tried to take our car down, which probably wasn't the best idea. Because it's interesting when you look up like beaches in Tonga on the interwebs. I only found, I think, 2. And then we went to one or both of them and they had actual roads that went down. Whereas these ones, they say beach on the maps, but there's no like real, I guess this is kind of a road. So after trekking through the forest, I found a little beach.
Tonga is a great place to visit, but again, the number one reason why everyone should go there if you're interested in sea life or being in the ocean is to dive with the whales. It was an incredible experience, and we will be definitely doing it again.
Yeah, I think the whole experience of like diving with whales, we weren't really sure what we were getting into. We were just like, we don't know how the boat's gonna get us right there.
And
like,
she'd seen videos of this. I'd never seen any videos, so I literally had no idea what to expect.
So we were just like, do we like just get in and they're there? Like, I don't know. We didn't really know how this was gonna work, and basically like what they do is you get on the boat, they go probably, I don't know how far away from the main island. We were probably
couple
miles off. So not super far. You can still see it from afar. Like,
you still had cell phone service.
Yeah, you had not good cell phone service, but still had some, so we're not that far off. And then the captain up top just starts looking, seeing if he can see any whales breaching, any movements, anything. And as soon as the captain sees like a whale, they try to get as close as possible without scaring it away. And while that's happening, the crew is telling us, we're divided into groups, the crew's telling us like, hey, get ready, like at any moment you're jumping in the water. So we get our fins, we get everything on, and we're literally just sitting on the back of the boat waiting for the captain to go, okay, get in the water. So we're literally just waiting like this is really happening. Like, we were the first group to get in too, and it was just like, as soon as we hear that go, like, we're in that water. We got to get in like 3 or 4 times, but it wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna look over and hear the whales. It's that easy.
It wasn't like casual snorkeling in like Hawaii, for example. This was like a physically strenuous snorkeling experience.
Yeah, and like the first time we got in the water, so first the guide gets in and then everyone follows one by one behind, and I'm the first one in, and as soon as I hit that water, I swam so fast, like it was unbelievable. And we get back in the boat and Brett's like, Kirsten, I have never seen you swim so fast in like our entire relationship of being together. Like, he was like, that was freaking crazy. Like, Michael Phelps that. I was just like, all the adrenaline, and I was just so excited to see whales that I was just like, I gotta go. So that was pretty funny. I don't know. And I'm not a great swimmer, so it was pretty impressive for myself.
It was the craziest part is, so 2 parts. One is not only the visual aspect of it, but it's also the audio. And what I mean by that is, when you're in the water with these whales, sometimes they're not talking and not singing, but then sometimes they are talking to each other and they are communicating in song. To one another. And the first time we were in, the visual aspect wasn't that great. It was a little dark and gloomy and the whales were a little far away, but then there was the sound that I couldn't even describe to you. And we come up and we asked our guide, you know, what is that? And they said, oh, that's how they communicate. And we both started freaking out.
Because at first we were unsure of what the sound was, but then when they told us what it was, we were like, no way. Like, what? Like, we like, oh, was that the boat? And then when they told us, like, no, that was the whales, we were like, wow, literally wow. Like, that's like, oh, we freaked out. It was so cool.
Yeah. Let's see. So that was one part of it, the singing, but then also how close you actually get. You know, when you think of like whale watching, I mean, you're several hundred yards away. You can see them breaching, but the fact that we were literally more or less the same distance from right here to the camera. I mean, you could have spit at these whales. That's how close you were to them.
Crazy.
So it was so like breathtaking to be next to such a large animal, and you're just like this little speck compared to them. So it was an eye-opening experience. And for anyone that's wondering, like, oh, I wonder how much that is, or I wonder if I can do that. So there's no certification whatsoever. You just get in. It's really just, it's basically like hardcore snorkeling is the best way to describe it, because you're out there on the open ocean. It's not like a casual snorkeling experience.
Especially if it's a rougher day, like you're charging through the waves, like you are swimming your little heart out. So.
Yeah, and then you know, it's basically like the same price as going to Disneyland. It's like somewhere in the $200 to $250 range.
Sometimes less.
Which, you know, sounds like pretty expensive for a snorkeling trip, but that dive is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
We've already decided we're going to be doing it several more times throughout our lifetime. So it is absolutely something everyone should do at least once. Even if you're afraid of the ocean, if you're afraid of animals, these animals are harmless. It's just an incredible experience. So Tonga overall, great experience.
We love you.
Yeah, Tonga, you have our hearts, absolutely. We hit country number 2. We're in country number 3 now, being in New Zealand. And then we're going to be, so we're in the North Island, we're going to be moving down to the South Island, moving on to Melbourne, Australia, and then moving up to Malaysia and or Bali, you know, interchangeably.
Yeah.
So we've got the next couple months ahead of us. We're just about 3 weeks in, and the one thing we keep saying to each other is we're still doing it.
Yeah.
We're still here, and we're somehow making this work. So it's been a fun experience so far. Stressful, definitely a bit emotional at times, but overall this has been a great experience.
Yep, we're doing it.
We're doing it somehow, some way. So next video is going to be more so about New Zealand. Definitely seeing the countryside and seeing New Zealand was not what I expected. It is a gorgeous country here, and we're going to be showing that in the next video and taking you guys along for the ride as usual. But again, the best experience so far today is the whale dive. Everyone should do it at least once. The video is just absolutely incredible. The visual of seeing this animal and you're, you know, within spitting distance is incredible.
Yeah, we are obsessed. So
Yeah.
I think we could do it every year, all the time, and it'll never get old. So
Absolutely not. So thank you guys for tuning in once again, and we'll see you guys in Technically, we'll bring you along in New Zealand. Thanks, guys.